Hey everybody, it's Matt with Michigan Boneheads Outdoors, and hopefully you're having a wonderful day so far. And on this week's episode, guys, we're going to be talking about what a lot of people had to come to terms with, me included. We had to eat some tag soup. That's right. It was a very, very tough season for us guys, but it's man, it just leaves a really, really bad taste in your mouth when you just can't fill that tag. So on this week's episode, we're going to be diving in our recap of our 2025 season and also what we're going to be planning on doing for the upcoming 2026 season. And we got a little bit of nice little surprises here and there that are really going to be coming in on the 2026 season. So just sit back, relax. Welcome to another episode of Michigan Boneheads Outdoors. Let's get it, guys. Like I said, guys, me and Pop there, we had one heck of a year getting on deer. The weather was just completely fluctuating. It would be 20, 30 degrees in the morning and then shoot up to, I seen almost into the 60s. And then we would have rain, then sleet. Then we, on the tail end of our trip, we got snow. It went back up to the weather was just, it could not make its mind up. I'm not blaming it on the weather, but we all know that the weather does have a factor on deer movement. But it was just a tough year for us. I had one good chance at a doe. As soon as she came on in, I went to full draw, like I'm seeing on the videos here, and for some reason she just stopped and then turned right around and then booked it right back. I heard some things in the woods, but nothing really came out. I had another deer blow at me. I did a rattling sequence, kind of moved, and then something blew right behind me. It was a little bit deeper blow, so I'm pretty sure it was a buck. But it was it was just very, very hard. And then once the full moon hit, it's like everything just stopped. Okay. Cameras went dry. All of our buck movement went strictly to night, from that 9 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. window. Nothing was moving in the daytime. We could not get on anything, and also too, guys, it's very, very hard to hunt when you are going after one specific deer. Also, we had Bono in our brains the whole entire time, every single time we went out in the woods. I'm pretty sure if you guys have been watching the channel, you know the Bono history by now. So he's a 13 plus northern Michigan monster, that we've been going after for 2.5 years now. So every time that we were going in the woods, we were anticipating on seeing him, and he just never showed. I didn't get one daylight picture of him whatsoever. I got a lot of nighttime pictures of him, and it kind of solidified a little bit of the piece of the puzzle that we did not have going into the 2025 season. And that is his route that he was using to go from point A to point B. We kind of were able to backtrack him a little bit. And guess what? I got that information on the last day that it's just so frustrating. The last day that we were up there, and then he finally, and it just all made sense. So on this 2026 season, we are going to go over there to where we kind of know now the travel route that he is using. So it's going to be very, very interesting. What's also going to be very interesting too, guys, is once we start doing our scouting trip in April. Okay, me and Dad, we kind of go up in mid-April. If you guys are not familiar with northern Michigan, it kind of can dictate if there actually is snow on the ground or not. Some years it's all melted away. You can get right in, and then there's some other years that there's still 12 inches of snow. So we're going to be that, like I said, that trip's going to kind of dictating the weather. But we usually get up there mid-April. Once we get up there in mid-April, we are definitely going to be hitting those areas that we found in the 2025 season, this season, on how he is traveling from point A to point B. Okay, um, we found a major piece of the Bono puzzle here that, like I said, that we did not have prior to this season. So we are definitely we cannot wait to get on over there. Hopefully we can find maybe some of his sheds, definitely the travel route that he is using, and definitely just start flooding that place and getting tree stand setups. Um, like I said, just entry and exit routes to get in and out for this deer. Because, like I said, guys, on prior videos, I have a really strong feeling that he is going to make it already through this year. Okay, he's done it for the past 4.5 years. He'll do it again. So we are going to be going after a 5.5-year-old Northern Michigan public land giant. Okay, like I said, he's looking like mid 140s already, 140s or mid 140s, and we know that 4.5 to 5.5 jump in deer can kind of be pretty nice. So hopefully we're going to be looking at Mr. Bono going into possibly the 150s, which is awesome, which would seriously be my personal best with a bow. And that is very exciting for me. I know that's very exciting for Pop, because, like I said, guys, we're going to be putting all of our chips into this deer alone. Okay, all of 2026 season is going to go for Bono. That's it. Like I said, guys, before, I only have 2.5 weeks to get it done because of work. I'm pretty sure a lot of you can understand that. But like I said, I want this deer, guys. I want him. He has been on my brain for 2.5 years now, and trying to figure out all the pieces to the puzzle. And with each year goes by, I learn a little bit more of him. I learn his movements. I learn where he's going, where he's kind of coming from, how he's using. I'm not going to say other things because it can narrow down where I'm at. But he's using different land features to crisscross. Okay, and like I said, with each year that goes by, I hone in a little bit more. And like I said, I found a little piece of the puzzle this year that can blow this thing wide open. Okay, and we cannot wait to get up there in mid-April and to start scouting and start really finding nice trees and nice trails to get Bono on the ground. Okay, I really want him so bad. I want to put him on that wall. Okay, and I'm going to be doing everything that I possibly can to get this deer on the wall, and I want you to come with me. So, like I said, guys, just subscribe to the channel. Let's figure this out together, and let's just do it. Another thing what we're doing, guys, is we're definitely going to be going into some of these bedding areas that we really do think that's where he's living at. We're, like I said, we definitely have some pretty good indications that that is going to be true. But like I said, guys, we just don't know until you put boot leather on the ground and you walk it. But if it is true, he's definitely going to be bulletproof in these areas. Another thing that we're going to be looking for is he crosses a creek. There's a major creek crossing. And once he crosses this creek, goes into another area, and he stays for 3 to 5 days. That's where I got the majority of my camera pictures of him last year. That's where I got him daylighting one time in this certain area. And then what he does is that he crosses the creek and then he leaves for 2 weeks. He comes back, crosses the creek, stays over here for another 3 to 5 days, and then leaves. You can kind of start seeing the pattern. So what we're definitely going to be doing is seeing on where he's actually living on that other side of the creek. I got a pretty good indication on where he's living as well, and we're just going to be walking it and seeing it if it is true. And if it is true, that's kind of a little bit more easier to hunt a little bit. But again, he's got himself almost bulletproof to where like you really can't get in there. But he does slip up one time. I have a picture of him during the day, and where he is during the day, you are able to hunt it. So there's a couple trees that I'm definitely going to be looking at. There's definitely going to be some areas that I am going to be honing into to where I can get a chance at him finally. Um, on this side of the creek and also on this side. So we're definitely going to be in there, just scouting that whole entire thing. Another thing that we're going to be doing, guys, is definitely going to be backtracking on the other side of the creek that we had the new piece of the puzzle at. That is, like I said, guys, that can blow this thing wide open. I have a picture of him on the point, which I'll show you now. That piece right there is the only part that I have of him on that side of the creek. After after that, I don't know where he goes. And that's one thing that I got to do is I got to start backtracking it. So I'm definitely going to be, like I said, putting tons of boot leather on the ground, trying to find any trails or any possible crossings or anything like that that he's going to be at. I know probably a lot of you guys are going to be like, well, just hunt right there. But guys, there's no trees. That little shrub that you have is probably like only maybe 8 feet tall, or 10 feet tall. That there's really not anything to kind of hunt in this area. I have really thought of doing kind of like an ambush hunt. Put the ghillie suit on. I do have a ghillie suit, and then just try to get after him at that, like that way. But I don't have, like I said, guys, I don't have that many daylight pictures of him. Every single picture I have of him is at dark, either, like I said, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, or just before daybreak, which is like around 5:30 in the morning. And then after that, I have no idea where he goes. So I'm really trying to figure out where he's staying at. I found out the little date window. I found out where he was crossing the creek at. I found out on the other side of the creek where he was actually coming from. So, like I said, I have these 3 points, and I just want to keep on backtracking them as much as I possibly can. And I want to figure out where he is. Where is he coming from? That's the main question. I want to see if I can backtrack him as far as I possibly can. So that is definitely what we're going to be doing our 2026 season. Like I said, guys, we're putting all of our chips into Mr. Bono himself. We're not, for me, I can't speak for Pop, but for me, that's the only deer I'm going after 2026. And another thing, guys, what I'm probably going to be doing, and this is probably the final piece here, is just learning as much as I possibly can. Not really about Bono in itself, but on deer behavior. And once you learn deer behavior, you can kind of correlate that with any type of particular deer that you're going after. And it kind of makes sense on why he's moving the way that he's moving, why he's going over here, why, stuff like that. So maybe I can implement that to my arsenal for this 2026 season. And that all stems from learning, getting on YouTube, learning from different YouTube channels, listening to people's testimonies, and seeing if I can use that in my situation. And a lot of times it works. There's 3 channels, guys, that I can give you right now. And if you don't follow them, I highly suggest you do. Okay? If you're not subscribed to these channels, hit the subscribe button on each and one of these. Okay? It is Eberhard Outdoors, all right, with Mr. John Eberhard himself, the godfather of saddle hunting. Okay? The Hunting Beast, Mr. Dan Infalt. All right, the guy's phenomenal way. He's, I can honestly say, guys, he's the main one that I kind of learned how to read and interpret sign from. And I just sat there and just listened to him, took notes, and applied it for the past maybe like 3 to 4 years. And it has been an absolute game changer. So definitely get in over there and subscribe to him. And the third one is, seriously, even though we are in Michigan, like I said, guys, it's all deer behavior. The Southern Outdoorsman podcast, or the Southern Outdoorsman. Yeah, the Southern Outdoorsman. But they actually do have a podcast too. But those are definitely 3 main YouTube channels that I highly recommend you guys use on your off season. Like I said, once you start taking your little mental break, you start kind of getting back into it. definitely use those 3 channels right there, and I guarantee you they'll help you out. And there you have it, guys. What me and Pop had to go through this 2025 season. We had to eat some tag soup, but it is what it is. And now, guys, you have the game plan that what we are going to be doing for Mr. Bono this upcoming 2026 season. And if you can, guys, give a subscribe to the channel. We're really growing here. Guys, we are knocking on our first 100 subscribers, and we can't do it without you. So, guys, hey, Christmas is right around the corner. If you want to give your boy a Christmas present, help us get us over that first 100. We would really, really appreciate it. And like always, guys, keep bringing traditions back home. And hopefully you guys have a wonderful, Merry, Merry Christmas. And we'll see you on the next one. Later, guys.